Making Way is an exhibition that deals with people, places, and the meanings between them. Artworks and live performances create conceptual pathways between South Africa and China. Issues of geography, leadership, suffering, and endurance are tackled.
The key theme, Making Way, the notion of movement, sort of sub-themes within that is migration, so in the Southern African context, often migration from other African countries, and then a more sort of personal scale movement in relation to your own human body, so sort of scraping on the ground, the way that you walk to work, the way that you take a particular path, create a particular path as you walk. Just in terms of the initial concept, the title of the work, Making Way, basically deals with two ideas behind the title. One is making way in terms of movement, travel, migration, and that came out of my interest in looking globally today at the number of people who are moving in and out of other people's spaces. And then the second idea behind Making Way is the idea of kind of, in a sense, stepping back and making way for something else to happen. So making way for new ideas, making way for new leaders, new leadership. A sub-theme in the exhibition, and I've tried to keep it fairly subtle, is the relationship between Africa and China.
Simbao made a point of avoiding well-known artists, and after several trips to China, opted for pieces by those who did not often get the chance to exhibit their work in what she termed a bottom-up approach.
In an art context, it's a way of getting beyond this almost fetishized notion of the Biennale hopping artist. So, the artist who sort of goes to the Venice Biennale and goes here and there and all over the world, and often internationally, the African artists that are represented internationally are the African artists who have access to traveling around the world. In terms of my role as the curator, it's an exhibition of 17 different artists. And the way that I curated this show was thematically, so it was to come up with a theme and draw together different threads from different artists' works.
Not only does the exhibition link 2 countries, but it also links 3 different venues around Grahamstown. It has branches in the Albany History Museum, the Provost, and Fort Selwyn, in which photos, paintings, videos, and performance art from 17 different artists are shown.
And what he does is they're based on sound pieces where he takes the sound of a bird that's indigenous to one particular area, and he does a sound recording, and he sticks a speaker up in a tree in a place that is not that place. It's playing on this notion of what does it mean to be indigenous? What does it mean to be out of place? What does it mean to be a foreigner? The exhibition, and in the context of what the show talks about, it's particularly trying to get away from the notion of movement and travel being an easy thing. So in the notion of globalization, sort of large companies talking about the world becoming a smaller place, everyone has access to any corners of the world. I'm not trying to say that, sort of emphasize the negativity of movement, but just showing the different aspects of movement.